Okay. We are back with another one. I hope y'all enjoyed my interview that premiered earlier today with a replay of the PG Kelly. That was very, very interesting to have him on this interview yesterday. And now I am interviewing a good friend of mine that I met in college, and he took his journey a different way. Just like him and my sister, they went the Navy route. So I'm going to bring him on in a second, and he'll tell you and discuss um, his journey in the Navy and all that good stuff that's entailed in. But let me first put everything in the chats and Facebook and everything so I get everybody coming through here right quickie. Oh, that was the wrong one. Let me delete that one right quick because I don't want to put the wrong. Hold on. 1 second. Got a little difficulties right quick until that. Hold on. Copy. Paste. All right. So now we do that and stuff like that. Without further ado, I will introduce and let my friend Eric Russell come on and join the show. How are you doing, Russell? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's been a while.
I
Not
know, I know, I know, I know. I'm glad that you decided to take this time out your busy schedule and join the show and
Thanks for
things
having.
like that. No problem, no problem. So I don't know if you've been noticing recently, but I've recently started this channel and I've just been doing it for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
I started off with 2 people, then now I got 101. So I guess I'm doing some good things.
Yeah, making headway.
Yes. So Russell, thanks for joining, like I said, and I would like for you to just give everybody just a brief description of who you are, what you're doing, and why did you join the Navy?
Cool, man. Thanks for having me again. I'm Eric Russell. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm at Wilson by way of Allen University. Um, about 5, 6 years back, ended up
Whew.
graduating. Yeah, ended up graduating together and started working in accounting, right in Columbia, right down the street from Allen, actually. And I was able to do some data analysis work up there at a virtual business office for about a year and a half. And then I decided to join the Navy. I wanted to do more with my degree. So ended up joining, getting a secret clearance. And
Whew.
yeah, the goal is to get out. I'm working on my master's right now. So the goal is to get out and get back to accounting. So this is the one step in the chain. So that's why I joined.
Wow, you're a man of many talents. Wow, I did not know all of that, but
Yeah.
I'm so happy. First thing first is so you and I went to school together and things like that, and I know you graduated, and now you got your degree. The question for you is, did you go the officer route or the enlisted route, and the reason why you chose your religion?
So I joined the enlisted route um, just for the purpose of doing 4 years and moving on. Um, if I wanted to do the officer route, I felt that I would probably stay in more than just one contract, given all the benefits and the pay grades are much different than they are.
Yes, very.
So, I've just been tutoring whether I want to do this for one contract or doing it for much longer. So, uh, not much of a battle anymore. I know that this has helped me along my journey, but I'm pretty sure that after this first contract, I plan to get out. So that's why I'm on the enlisted side.
Okay, so you're not going the officer route. You got your 4 year degree. You're working on your master's. And how many years did you sign? And was it because you want to do more or because you want to do less?
So, what I would encourage everyone that wants to join is to ask questions. That's big before you sign the dotted line. I didn't
Hmm.
really ask questions about how long. It was just, hey, this is what you're going to be doing while you're in the Navy, and I mean that was all I was pretty much concerned about. I mean, I didn't really care about the time, but after getting to my first duty station, I realized that I signed a 5 year contract,
Mm.
and I'll be at my first duty station for 4 years. So I'll have the option of um, OTEPing and signing to stay for 1 year, or leaving and going to another ship for two. So we'll cross that bridge when I get there, but I still have a few years before I have to make that decision.
Okay, okay. Now let's backtrack a little bit so that
Yeah.
everybody knows that you're in. Let's give me the thought process of when you went to the recruiter and why did you pick the Navy out of all branches? What was your down path of which branch was right for you?
So I have a lot of friends that are in the military,
Hmm.
and I was just asking around, trying to get a feel of okay, uh, what type of work do I want to do? How would I be able to incorporate my degree? How would I be able to use what I learned in the military as a stepping stone for when I get out? So I was told that um, it's pretty much preference. Like, what do you like to do? Where do you want to see yourself? What type of work do you want to do? As far as in like some of the benefits, what do you prefer? So I just kind of I went to all the recruiting offices, and I kind of just asked questions. Um, it was just a ton of questions that I asked concerning the different jobs, concerning the attrition rate, people failing in and out of schools, people failing in and out of boot camp.
Hmm.
Because I thought coming into the military, I thought boot camp was much worse, much more strained than what I actually went through. So I think that was like the one of the biggest things uh, trying to join the military. So
So, um, let me ask you this. You say you did look at the branches. Why was not the Army, the Air Force, or the Coast Guard and Marines wasn't your pick, your cup of tea per se?
so um, as the stigma has it, um, not many people like the Army. I mean, a lot of people like it, but
Hmm.
I was told that that definitely wouldn't be my first choice
Hmm.
going in. So I went. That was the first place I went. I went to the recruiter's office for the Army, and once they kind of told me how things go, what I'll be doing, I was like, it's not something I think I want to do. And so I went to the Marines, and the Marines were a little better,
Hmm.
but also I didn't like the idea of just being just infantry.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I didn't want to, as far as like the officer route, I didn't want to. I wasn't 100% fully invested into it, so I
Hmm.
didn't want to make any commitments that I couldn't get out of. And I knew joining the Air Force or the Navy that I would be able to, sign on a 4 year and have a
Get
fighting
out.
chance to decide like, okay, is this something that I can see myself doing and not being miserable? Because as you may know, and we learned, you can't judge your military experience off your first contract.
Yeah.
So that was like the biggest thing, just not overcommitting to something that I may or may not have wanted to do, and not being able to get out of it if I did. So that left me with the Navy and the Air Force.
Hmm.
And I have a few friends that are in the Air Force and they love it.
Hmm.
And once they kind of described to me what they do, I just decided to go Navy. It was a back and forth battle between the Navy and the Air Force, and
Okay.
ultimately ended up choosing the Navy.
And why wasn't the Air Force the final decision? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, people say the Air Force is where is it at?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
life of living is where is it at in the Air Force? I don't know if we've been on the ship yet, but that's questions down the line. But I've seen the video. I can't sleep like that. That's small.
yeah. So you kind of get used to it as far as like the sleeping quarters. But I ultimately ended up not choosing the Air Force because the jobs that I wanted wasn't available for another year and a half.
And what
Um,
job was that?
anything logistics that was being able to incorporate my accounting degree.
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, well, you know what, I want to leave ASAP,
Yeah.
and even with the Navy, it still took me like 3 or 4 months before I ended up leaving. I was depth in for a while, so but I wanted to leave as soon as possible just to get the process started and hopefully to get it over with and get
How
some more.
long was your debt?
I was depth for about 4 months.
Okay.
I said a little
Not
over
too
4 months.
bad, but not too bad. But I think I
Right.
was. Well, I wasn't in necessarily called debt per se because National Guard is you still got to go to drill. Did you have to do any drills to see a recruiter once a month or something like that?
Yeah. They kind of work with you. They
Hmm.
want you to come in. They talk to you and they kind of give you guidance on where to take your career. As far as in what do you see yourself in the next contract. I'm not
Hmm.
even talking about this one, but setting yourself up for success in the next one, and
Okay.
just getting yourself prepped and ready just in case you do get out. And
Okay.
every now and then, they would have where you would come work out. Um, Navy style, military style per se, the standard push up, sit ups, and then the run. But
Hmm.
they also understood that I worked, and I couldn't always be able to get to where I wanted to get down there. So they were very understanding. They worked well with me in that aspect. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely. We met maybe like 2 or 3 times a month.
Okay. So explain to me and the viewers how was MEPS your MEPS routine, your MEPS ideas, stuff like that. What's your overall ideas about when you went to MEPS?
Meth was interesting. Uh, you don't realize how long of a day it is until you've gone
Get
through
up.
it,
Yeah.
and I think that's the worst part. As far
Hmm.
as like signing up and before getting shipped out, getting ready to go, I think MEPS is one of the tougher days because you're there all day. You're getting all of these tests done, and you're just sitting around waiting all day, and once you're done with your whatever you want to get done, then you want to leave, and
Hmm.
it just doesn't work that way. I mean, once you get to that point, you're on their time, their clock. So you just have to be patient, and just know that it's going to be a long process. But um, I ask questions, and like I said earlier, I encourage anyone that wants to join the military to be uh, fully entwined into what you're doing when you're getting in. So to ask, in
Okay.
no question is a dumb question. So just ask.
Okay. So let me ask you this: when you was at MEPS, you took the ASVAB, correct?
Right.
What was your score, and did your score determine if you got a bonus?
Okay. So I scored a 67 on the ASVAB,
Hmm.
and no, it did not determine whether I got a bonus because they weren't doing them at the time.
Hmm.
Listing bonuses at the time. So I don't know if it's with all of the military, but with the Navy, it's it's a timely thing. So sometimes they may have an enlistment bonus for you. Sometimes they may not, and I just happened to join. And when I joined, they didn't have it available for us. So that was just something that I missed out on. But it doesn't directly correlate to your ASVAB score.
Okay, okay. So let me ask you this. Are you currently married or have a girlfriend prior to you joining?
Yes, had a girlfriend before joining,
Hmm.
and we ended up getting married. Uh,
Okay, congratulations.
yeah, appreciate that, man. We ended up getting married in back in 2018, and we ended up finally being able to have the ceremony in February.
Okay.
The
This
end of
part of
February.
February?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So
The
what was
the end of January.
so what is her thoughts about being the military wife now? And actually, what was the overall process of you telling her, "Hey, babe, I want to join the Navy" and stuff like that? What was her idea when you told her that?
She supported me through the whole thing. That was something that we talked about. And we talked about all the possibilities of what could happen as far as like me first going to boot camp, being gone for 3 months. No cell phone, no outside interaction. All you have are letters that are being sent, and you know how long letters take.
Yes, I did the same things. I already know.
Yeah, so you know how long that stuff takes. So I think that was uh, the hardest part to talk about was just being separated for that long, and then trying to figure out what duty station I was going to because uh, we don't know what duty station we're going to, depending on your job. You don't
Yeah.
know what duty station you're going to until after you complete A
Hmm.
school. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's just another tough thing. And then you go through A school, and that was another 3-4 months that I was gone from her, and then um, ended up coming to Hawaii. Ended up being
Okay.
stationed out in Hawaii, and that was a job all in its own because that's a 6 hour difference.
Hmm.
Mm,
So
from
let me ask you this. I want to take the chance to go in a different direction.
okay.
You're the first person that's black that I actually interviewed. Now,
Okay.
a lot of black guys, don't go into the service or are skeptical about anything. Do you recommend this for any people, anybody like this? Like, would you recommend this to anybody black or, that's a black male per se?
Actually, I do. Let me dive into that a little bit more.
Go ahead, feel free.
Um, I recommend it for everyone, but especially black males that are struggling and don't have a helping hand into where they're trying to go.
Hmm.
This can definitely be a stepping stone because a lot of people join the military and they think, or before they even join the military, they think, okay, if I join, I have to do 20 years and then retire. And no, I mean, it's just something that gets you, um, it gets you going, get you out of a bad situation that you may possibly be in. And fortunately, I was able to get myself out before I needed the military. But I know a lot of guys that joined the military and it got them at least out of a bad situation. And some of them didn't retire military. Some of them did one stint. Some of them did two. But it got them out of a situation. You meet people. You open up doors for yourself, and that's definitely important for the black community now. Um, just looking at a lot of the stuff that's going on, just being able to help yourself is one of the blessings that the military does offer you.
Yes, I said the same thing because us being black, we don't have too many opportunities, and if you're just stagnant in the same job, I mean, I'd say honestly, to the Navy route would be better off, or the Coast Guard route would be better off because you could travel the world, and once you travel the world, you could figure out, you could find yourself basically. Most people join the Navy. And I know if you seen the movie Antoine Fisher, he did the same thing. He was in a bad predicament,
Mhm.
traveled the world, learned many languages, and did his thing. And that was very inspirational. The movie was sad, but it was inspirational. You know,
Right.
if the Navy ain't your thing, you know, it is like you said, other branches for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I really commend you on that and things like that. So now that you said that part, I want to ask you about your basic training experience. Where was your basic training? How long was your basic training? And go ahead on that.
All right. So for the Navy, basic training is held in Great Lakes,
Hmm.
Illinois. That's roughly 30 miles north of or um, outside of Chicago, and it lasted. I want to say 12 weeks.
Hmm.
I want to say it was 12 weeks, and it was a better experience than I thought. I thought it would be a lot rougher than what it was. But the biggest thing is just being able to instill values, um, honor, courage, commitment, and just being able to stay disciplined and to in order to get through. But word of advice to a lot of people, if that's what scares you the most, is going to the boot camp and being yelled at and being cussed out. Trust me, it's not as bad as you think. And if that's the only thing that's keeping you from joining, you should definitely join.
Okay. So I don't know if you watched any videos on YouTube about the boot camps between the Navy, not the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, and the Marines. Which one you think has the craziest basic training?
I think the Marines, man, I think they go through it, man. Our officers are when our officers are going through officer candidate school, that
Hmm.
whole thing is being run by Marines. So
Oh,
I know it. I heard it gets intense. I heard it gets crazy. So I definitely just based off the videos that I've seen on YouTube, and just talking through the eyes of some of the officers, I think the Marines they definitely go through more. It's more physically brutal on the body, so I think that's very taxing.
what about the Army basic training? What you think about that?
For what I saw, I think I don't think it's as bad as the Marines, but I still think it's a little tougher than the Navy
Yeah,
and definitely the Air Force. So luckily, I didn't have to go through the Marines or the Army.
yeah.
Um,
I went through the Army basic training, but like you said, it's nowhere near the Marines basic training.
yeah, yeah.
So, question is, did you have any beefs or problems with anybody in your basic training? And how did you deal with it?
So I mean, everyone has problems in in boot camp because you have and you start off with 100 guys and you're all in one compartment, right? And sorry, that's my dryer. But you have all these people from across the world, right? And you put them all in one room, and you expect them to just sit down, be quiet, listen, pay attention. You know, and it just doesn't work that way. People they bump heads. You want to talk, you want to figure out like who is this guy, where is he from, what do we have in common, how can we all get through this, in one piece. And every now and then you're gonna run into some guys that they're miserable, they hate that they joined, they hate that um, they're in boot camp. So I mean, I've had a couple run-ins. There
Hmm.
were a couple times where guys test you, and then I'm from this place, I'm from that place, and you try to handle it as best you can, but at the end of the day, you're a grown man in the same place that you don't want to be,
Yeah,
right? Just like 100 other guys, or the 99 other guys that are in the boot camp with you. But sometimes you talk it out. I mean, sometimes you go into the head and or the restroom and you handle it, and and it ends there.
I'll show you something when we get off air. I got something to show you. But okay, so I don't know too much about what y'all do in the Navy, but what
Okay.
do y'all do routinely for training and things like that? Describe your day zero to graduation period. Because we have phases. I don't know if y'all got phases, but explain what y'all did day to day.
All right. Cool. So you get there the first day, and you're up for 72 hours. They're I mean that's them conditioning you to finally succumb to whatever their plan is, and everything is medical. Everything is processing in, right? So you process in. You get all your gear. They get it. They get everything issued to you, um, and then eventually uh, you end up going to bed, getting some sleep, and after that, that's when you go into the first phase, which is uh, you walk around everywhere with PT gear on,
Hmm.
and that's the first week, right? So you're pretty much doing everything, prepping up through the first week. But you're not really doing much that first week. It's all medical stuff, and just checking everything in, processing everything. Them talking to you, letting you know like this is what's to be expected of you as a sailor. And once you get to that second week, they move you out of one building into a gym pop with with
Hmm.
with, with other sailors, and
Sound like you was in jail.
they move you from the the decent living quarters to ships.
Oh, so
Or
basically, y'all, you was basically when you got there, it was basically like a reception. That's what we call it when we get to like pre boot camp. Like you did, but it's basic training, but it's not basic training. You just
right,
going through the motions. Okay, so you
right,
basically was in reception. Okay.
right. And then you finally go into the next building, right? And the people that you're with are gonna be the people that you're with the whole time. And that'll be your graduating class of anyone that makes it, right? So the second week, you start your marching, your learning formations, you you have your different jobs, and you're just constantly learning every day the military way. You take tests every week. Or I want to say it was maybe like 6 or 7 tests maybe throughout.
Hmm.
So every like 2 weeks, I want to say, or it's staggered. But you would take tests, and that would get you through the next week. If you fail a certain number of times, then they ASMO you, or
That's basically recycled.
yeah, and they send you to the class before that until you pass. So
Okay,
eventually,
so they send you back and you pass that week. Do you go forward or you gotta stay with that class?
you stay with that class.
Damn.
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough, man. But you stay with that class, and you PT a lot,
Hmm.
2 3 times a day. You take a 45-second shower. Um,
45 seconds.
yeah, so you got 100, and we started off with like 105, 106 people, and you have 30 minutes to shower,
Mm.
and that includes cleanup time. Um, so it was rough. You really learn the meaning of a Navy shower. You literally get in, put the soap on,
Get out.
wash off, yep, get out. They have stations where you one station you rinse off, next station you put soap on, the next station you rinse off, and then you get out. And you have people in there monitoring time. So it was crazy. Coming from being a civilian, showering for 30 minutes, hot water. You know what I'm saying? to
So
that.
how was your shower stalls? Was it like an open like gym bay or y'all had your privacy?
Nope, it was open.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you have six people, at a time. We cycle them out, and we would do like one half of the compartment, and then we would do the second half of the compartment, and then at like the 10-minute mark, everyone should have showered already, and everyone should be cleaning up, and we're
Yeah.
scrambling to clean because if you're not on the tow line by the time that the 30-minute mark hit, then you're gonna be P10 again, and it's like, man, I just showered, and so
Damn.
it's to the point where they were like, you know what? That's the one thing that y'all hate. Y'all hate to shower and then PT instead of PT and then shower and call it a night. So
Yeah.
that's what they did, man. They ended up showering us, and that was like our form of punishment, PT, and after we shower, and then having to get in a rack. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
So
do that.
what was the name of the people that was in charge of y'all? Like how the army had drill sergeants.
They were RDCs.
What was called what?
RDCs.
RDC. What do RDC
Yep.
stand for?
Man, don't have me lie to you, man. I can't remember.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so now that y'all the process of your day to day, know a little bit about that. Tell me how was it for your PT test and PT test leading up to graduation?
Cool. So you take a PT test. Uh, I want to say that either the first or that second week, and it's
Hmm.
like a practice one. And then after that, we you run like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and then you PT like 2 or 3 times a week, and you actually have like you have 3 PT tests, and you can fail the first one. They kind of gauge like where you are, and then the second one you have to pass, and if you fail, you have to do it again, and then the third one the same thing. It's you have to pass, and then you have to pass that last one. But if you fail, then uh, they send you to this fitness program called FEP, and that's
Hmm.
that you go to another building, and then they PT you and get you to pass the PRT so that you could graduate.
Wow. Okay, so that's similar to the armies. We have something called FTC, fitness training unit. Like you don't have to pass the PT. Well, suppose you're supposed to pass it, but
So,
if you don't pass the PT test at all, you could get through. But that last requirement of the graduation is a PT test. So if
okay.
you don't take that, if you never pass it, they'll say you're there to pass it, and then you graduate. So okay, something similar. Okay, so question is a little odd question is the basic training for y'all is in like almost I could say the Chicago area. It's in Illinois.
Yeah.
Why do the Navy don't have another location?
I'm not sure. That's a good question, but I honestly I just don't think we have that
Enough.
many people joining the Navy to
Mm.
get another spot. Honestly, but I mean that's a good question. That's a really
Oh,
good question.
yeah, because the Marines they got two locations. Army
Right.
have four locations, and the Air Force and the Navy and Coast Guard got one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's because the like you said the enlargement of people. More people are joining the Army and the Marines than the Air Force and the Navy. Do you think out of all, what would be the hardest branch to join? Do you think because of that, or is it hard to join any branch?
Honestly, it's not hard to join any branch. They because what are we? We're 1% of the population,
Yeah.
so it's man, we screaming for people. We are screaming for people. You got to look at the people that retire year in year out. Look at the people that decide, hey, the military is not for me. Year in year out, and you also have to think about the people that get in trouble, right? And um, end up getting forced out of the military. So if you put all of those factors together, I mean, we really don't have that many people.
Mm, okay. So now that you did all of that, how did you like leading up to graduation? And tell me about your graduation experience.
Cool. So leading up to graduation was rough.
Okay.
You go, yeah, you go through this thing called battle stations, which is it's fun, um, but it's an all nighter. You,
Okay,
uh,
battle stations. Okay.
yep, yep. You
So
go through,
that's similar to the Marines crucible and the Army's forge. Okay.
yep. So
So
you go
explain
through, yep. You go through a series of different tasks, and it's you're pretty much pulling an all nighter,
that.
and it's just a lot of things that you learn over boot camp. Just applying that to practices, and you're on teams. It's, one team, one fight. So one person fails, the whole group fails, and you definitely get a good experience out of that. Teaches you a lot of different life lessons, and you also learn the people in your division, or the people that are in your division that'll definitely stick around and fight, and then you have some that are just like, this is too much. You have people that freeze up. Um, but I'm pretty sure that's with every branch when it comes to these type of exercises. You have uh, just different experiences with everyone. But
Mm,
you have that. You go through battle stations, and after battle stations, you're pretty much in the clear. You're pretty much just waiting to see when your graduation date will be, and then some people find out what first duty station they're going to, and then others find out, okay, this is when I'm going to A school, and so that
hmm
takes you to graduation. And so on graduation, uh, you have this huge hall, this huge hall where this big ceremony is, and you have the president of the RDCs and the whole boot camp. He's there, and then all of the RDCs are there.
hmm
Pretty much all the staff, everyone's there, and then you all of the all of the graduating classes are there as well, and so you march in, and then once you march in, you just have this ceremony, beautiful ceremony, and after that, you march out, and that's the end of it. Like that's total relief. After that, your friends and your family can come, but it is numbered, and they only let a certain amount of people in because the hall isn't that big,
Yeah.
and you got to think about all of the graduating families.
Mm. So first come, first serve. So let me ask you this: um, what was your choices to go? Did you have like a dream sheet of where you want to go or where you want to be stationed to?
Yeah, some like that. You have a dream sheet. I mean, but that's just them. You know, I don't know how it is with the other branches of the military, but in the Navy, you pick, you know, the eastern side or the western side, and then you pick two states. So I ended up picking Japan and San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
with hopes of going to San Diego.
Or
But
San Diego?
you said why San Diego?
Yes.
Uh, I I love Cali. That was one of the better states that I've been to. And
Mm.
so I was like, man, if I can, get out to Cali for 4 years,
You'll
man,
be big.
yeah, that's pretty much anything I can ask for as far as in like networking possibilities, as far as in just being able to get the full experience of being in the military, being close to LA, being close to Texas, being close to Vegas, being close to Seattle, just being able to travel more, and being able to network and get myself out there. I thought that was the perfect opportunity for myself. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it. They put
Mm.
me right in the middle. They put me right in the middle of San Diego and Japan.
And
So
where are
uh,
you now?
I'm in Hawaii.
Oh man, me and Kelly were just talking about that yesterday. He
Yeah,
said he wanted to go to Hawaii.
yeah, it's cool, but you kind of get burnt out after a while. I mean, I've been here for a little over 2 years,
Uh-huh.
and I'm definitely ready to get back to the mainland. My wife's ready to get back to the mainland, so
So you don't like it? You and your wife don't like it?
it's not that we don't like it. It's just we've had enough.
What's
Like it's
wrong? What's wrong with Hawaii?
it's just small. Just you know,
Yeah.
my thing is I love traveling, being able to go to different spots, places I haven't been before, and you can't do that on this island. You drive 4 hours in one direction, and you're at the end of the island. So
Damn, for real?
yeah,
4 miles?
yeah, 4 hours is a stretch. It could be from east to west. It could be like 2 hours. So from north to south, maybe 4 hours, a little less for sure. But I that's just something that me and my wife are really big into is just traveling and experiencing new things. So in order to get to the next island, you're flying,
Wow.
and you know what the deal is as far as like getting to San Diego, like you're flying and um getting home. Plane tickets are super expensive as opposed to taking road trips.
Yeah,
Being,
yeah, yeah. $50,
yeah,
you'd be straight.
yeah, being able to hit the open road and find yourself in another state, and it's completely different. You know what I mean? So you're in Oahu, which is pretty much the city part of Hawaii. Then you go to the Big Island, which is the more touristy spot, or Maui or Kauai, but it's virtually all the same. It's
Hmm.
virtually all the same. So I think we're just ready to have a new change of scenery. So the mainland is where we want to be. Where we want to be.
Okay. And to be clear, how many years you did again?
Um, it'll be 3 years next month on the 23rd.
Mm.
Be three
Okay.
years.
Wow. That's something. That's
Yeah.
something. 3 years. And what is your rank?
E5. Second class petty officer.
So you started as an E4?
I came in as an E3.
Mm-hmm.
That's the highest you can be coming out of boot camp.
What?
The highest you can be coming out of boot camp is an E3. And
Wow.
yeah, I know. It's like it's
That
crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy because in the army, I don't know how they do it in the other branch, but in the army, if you got a degree, you come in as an E4.
No. No.
Wow.
You come in as an E3, and the only way you can get promoted in boot camp is if you're an E1 or an E2. That's gonna be an E2 or E3.
So
And
let me make try to get clear.
okay.
So you can, if you have a 4-year degree, you cannot come as an E4.
No.
Wow. And you coming as an E3 in boot camp, and you can't get promoted in boot camp. You got to be promoted after.
Yeah. And you're not gonna be promoted. You have to go through the whole process of taking an exam, waiting for quotas to come out, and hopefully scoring a high enough scoring the exam to pass.
So the promotion process, you got to take an exam for it.
Yep. So you take an exam. It's every March and every September. So
Mm.
you take an exam, and they look at your exam. They look at your eval. Um, they look at it's this thing called RISCA, um, and then they look at I think that's it. And then they compare with everyone else in the country uh, that's trying to make the same pay grade, and they
Mhm.
take they'll send out a percentage of the people that they're going to promote, right? So uh, me coming into the Navy as an OS, it was 100%. So E4 was 100%, and then E5 was 100%, and then recently it dropped down to 40%, right?
Why is that?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's unheard of. It's something we haven't seen as um as OSs. We haven't seen it, but it dropped down. So 40% of everyone that took the test are going to be promoted. So at that
Wow.
point, you look at at that point you want to score as high as you possibly can on the exam. You want to make sure your eval is tip top, top of the top when it comes to your ship. It's just a lot that plays into it. So it's a little more simpler when you're E1 through E3 because it's just time.
Okay, so you're just racking up time.
Yep. So at the time, you pick up E2, then time you pick up E3, and then once you're ready for E4, you take an exam, and you everything I listed before this, you take that into consideration, and you go from there.
Wow, that is crazy. That's why most people. Okay, now I'm trying to get a sense of why people join the army now because if they got a degree, they want that extra money,
Yeah.
and E4 money is better than E3 money. Let's just say that, even though it's not a lot, it's
Yeah.
something. It's it's the status and it's a little bit better. So that's understandable. So now that you graduated, you got in as an E3. Um, you was an E4, and now that you're a E5, which would be a sergeant in our side.
Okay.
Um, now you basically are you a non-commissioned officer? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a non-commissioned officer, and explain to me how AIT, well not AIT, A school went for you, and how long was your AIT, and where was your AIT? I mean your A school.
So um, a school for it depends on your job or your rate.
Hmm.
So it could be as short as 2 weeks. It could be as
What?
long. Yes, it can
They
be
got
as
A
long
school that's 2 weeks? What's that? What school is that?
BMs, Bolsa mates.
What's a bolster mate?
So they're pretty much the guys around the ship that uh, they do a lot of different things. A lot of maintenance, painting the ship,
Okay.
um, a lot of driving the ship while we're out to sea.
Mm.
They do a lot, man. They're pretty much the backbones of the operations department. So we definitely need them. They do a lot, but it's just a lot of on the job stuff that they do.
Hmm.
So being in A school, they're not there long, 2.5 weeks, and they're out of there.
Mm. Okay, now explain. I'm sorry, we went off track, but
Oh
explain
yeah,
your age. Yeah.
yeah. So my A school, so I'm roughly there for 3 months. Roughly there for about 3 months, and it consists of a little marching every day, to and from class, and so basically you leave boot camp, right,
Hmm.
and you go to A school, which my A school is right across the street.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So you go to A school, and then you class up.
Hmm.
Sometimes when it comes to classing up, it could take you could class up that following Monday, or in my instance, I classed up 2 months later.
What is class up?
When another class starts.
Okay.
So I was in limbo for 2 months. So I was on hold. Yeah, so that sucked. But I was on hold for 2 months, and I finally started class, and it lasted for about 3 months. And essentially, you just learning your job, and you take a test every week.
Mm.
until you graduate. And then once you graduate, you find out where you're going. And once you find out where you're going, everyone's excited. It's time to get out of here. It's time to go to the airport and
Mm.
and figure out like what my next what my next duty station is going to be like. So it's a fun, exciting time for sure.
Wow. So what all did you learn? And what was your job again? At A school. And did you go to C school? Because I think I talked to my sister about that. She said something about that.
So I'm operational specialist. So we do a lot of different things, a lot of admin work. Um, Sorry about that. We do a lot of admin work. We also do some navigation of the ship. Um, we can be air controllers, um, but our main job is monitoring surface contacts. So
Hmm.
any other ships that are out there, we're tracking them and
Hmm.
just making sure that we have a track on them.
Hmm.
And I mean, we do a lot. We do a lot. But that's the bulk of it.
Okay. Okay. So did you enjoy A school?
I had a blast in A school. I mean, it's in Chicago, man. It's a lot to do. The only thing that sucked was I was there for uh during during the winter. So
Oh.
yeah. So it
What
was
month did you
actually,
go? What month did you go to what month did you go to basic training? That was the first should have been the first question.
in
What month?
August.
Okay, so you went in August. Okay, oh yeah, A school. Yeah, it got cold probably October, November-ish.
Yeah, I was in A school. I was in A school October 20th, and
Hmm.
I left February 12th.
Okay. Okay, now that you're done with A school and graduating A school, how did your wife feel about you now that you out? Because I know it was a long time since she seen you.
Yeah, so actually she drove from South Carolina
What?
to Chicago. Yeah,
Oh,
she drove a couple of times. She flew once and she drove a couple of times.
hmm.
And man, she was happy that I was getting out, but the only thing was, she was still in South Carolina and I was headed to Hawaii. So
Oh,
yeah, that was what a 6
that's a
hour
little,
time difference.
yeah. So when you got settled in Hawaii, did you I knew you was there first. How long after until your wife came aboard?
Um, so when I got here, we went underway for a month and a half, and then she ended up coming in June. She's gonna come in like mid June, and
Hmm.
um, yeah, man. After that, the rest is history.
Okay. Did she like it at the first time?
Yeah. At first, she loved it at first. Um, we she loved it and then she hated it because she was here and I was
Hmm.
gone. Like the ship left a lot that first
Mm,
year, and then I went on deployment in November. So
mm.
I had her for about a couple months before I ended up leaving for deployment. And I was gone for 7 months. So yeah, so Uh, I got back with June 1st,
Mhm.
and yeah, I was able to spend the summer with her before they sent me to. They eventually ended up sending me to a C school or
Okay.
A school. Yeah, so I ended up going to school again. So I just been on the go since I've been here.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Yep.
Well, okay, now we're riding down a little bit and
Okay.
stuff like that. So are you a family man? Do you have any kids now since being in?
Since being in, no, I had one before I joined.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we winding down to a little bit and almost at the end of the show. So for this part of the show, I want you to ask me anything. Like this is your time to ask me since I've been asking you.
Okay. Cool. Let me see here. So, what made you start to join this? What made you do this podcast or just the interviews? Well, what made you start?
Well, I don't know. It just happened off an accident. Just literally did because I seen everybody was doing it. I'll be watching the videos and stuff like that from other people, and I was like, let me give my take on it. And I don't know if you've seen, but I did a couple of videos by myself recently, and I was like, I know people that's in the military.
Yeah.
My sister's recently, my sister's in the military too, and people I went to basic training in was also, and I was like, I want to get their side of the story, tell their story, because I want y'all voices to be heard from people that's joining, you
o-
know, like how you and I probably we looked at other people when we was joining, and now we want to return the favor. So that's
Okay.
what I'm doing. I'm not sure. I'm doing this just to help people out, basically.
Okay. What So I know a lot of people ask me like, okay, you're a little older, so why did you join so late? But we um we went to school together, we graduated together.
Oh, I
So
didn't graduate. I didn't graduate.
I could have sworn you were in the
No, somebody that might look like me, but
oh
um,
man.
the year you graduated, I left school because I was done with it. I was just, how Alan was. I was just fed up, so I was like, I'm
Yeah.
just done, and I had to take a break. But I am going to go back to school.
Okay. Okay, cool. So what made you join so late? That's the point I was getting to.
Okay, I don't know if you remember this guy named Jerome. He almost looked like James Harden from Allen.
Yeah, I remember Jerome.
Yeah, he got married recently, and he told me to go with him to the dang what's that, the recruiter, and I told my story about that yesterday. Then
Okay.
the reason why I joined it late because I didn't take it serious. I should have took it serious, but I didn't. But now that I'm 28, I regret not going when I was 18 back to Dallas. Not finishing school could have helped me. It was a lot of things, but now that I did it, I'm more happy and satisfied that I did it later than earlier. But I would rather did it earlier.
Mm, that makes sense. I was kind of on the same path. I was happy with how things turned out. Um, you know, uh, graduate from school. But I always have in the back of my mind, like, if I was younger, I probably would be uh, even better sailor than I am now.
Mhm.
And I'll probably be more gung ho, uh, being a younger guy joining the military than I am now. But
Said the same
definitely for
thing.
the opportunity for sure. Um, so that's always a good thing. Do you plan on going back, graduating school, then trying to shoot for a master's? Like, do you plan on?
Um, well, with COVID right now, school is on hold and things, but I
Yeah.
do want to go back, start school in January. My goal is January,
Okay.
and I got credits, college credits, and I do want to go either the ROTC route or the OCS route or the package route. I do want to be an officer because I do see myself doing minimum of 10 years. I mean, 20 years would be fine, but the older I get, is like, wow, the PT test is like, yeah, that's my goal. I should have did it like 18, then I could have did the 20, but
Yeah.
I would be if I did everything correctly, I'd be 46 by when I retire. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, people will be 36 when they retire. So
Yeah. That's
that
still
would
not,
be better off for me.
yeah, that's not bad though. You can still start a whole new career after 46
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Anything else for me?
No, man. I think that's all that I have. You know,
Any closing thoughts? Closing thoughts, last minutes. You got the floor. Say what you want to say.
cool, cool. So appreciate you having me uh, on your podcast for sure. Whenever you need me, I'm one phone call away. I will be in Colombia at some point. So we'll definitely have to get up and kick it. And to anyone that wants to join the military, I think you should give it some thought. Um, Not only to be able to help you, but also to just give you more resources for just in case you decide to get out, just in case you decide to not make it a career.
All right. Well, really do appreciate you from being on. I know you're like way behind in the time zone and took time out your busy schedule to do this. I really do appreciate for doing that. And thank you for coming on.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. And I'll hit you up on the back chat right quick. Stay by.
All right.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed that. That was a good informed interview with a friend of mine, Eric Russell. He's an E5 in the Navy. He did very good. He's about to get out pretty soon. Family man, wife, soon to be have kids soon, and he's a really good dude. So, I will link his information in the description so y'all could go and hit him up. Any advice, Eric is there to help. He's a good guy. I really do trust him. So his Facebook is in there. I will get his Snapchat and Instagram later on, and I'll put it in the description. And thanks for joining and tuning in for this late edition of my podcast. Like I said before, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to whatever side of town you're on.